Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Globe Life Park, that's where the Yankees will be in action tonight as they close out this series against the Texas Rangers. Now, inside earlier today, the fans on hand, Yankee fans, got some autographs. That's why they are so happy. As tonight, the YES Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Texas Rangers in the fourth and final game of this series from Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. The Yankees lost last night, but they have won the first 2 out of 3 in this series. Tonight, trying to make it 3 out of 4, but that's not the big news. The big news this afternoon is Michael Pineda and the injury report, brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. Pineda's been placed on the disabled list. He felt pain in his forearm during Tuesday's bullpen session. An MRI showed inflammation yesterday, and today the Yankees placed him on the 15-day DL with a strained right forearm. Now, before the ball game, Michael Pineda talked with our Meredith Marakovitz about his disappointment.
Yeah, it's frustrating for me. Yeah, you know, especially right now because my team is in good position and I really want to pitching and help my team, you know, so but I don't have control for that. So.
What have the Yankees told you as far as the game plan moving forward for the rehab?
Well, they tell me, like, we have to take a 7 to 10 day off and we're starting to play catch again.
And John, I want to get your thoughts about how you feel this is going to affect the team in the future here.
Well, I mean, obviously, Kenny, he's a number one, if not a number one, a number 2 guy in your rotation, so he is going to be greatly missed. The good news, the Yankees have a 6-game lead, so they have a little bit of a cushion. You have to get this guy right. You have to get him healthy. The innings are starting to creep up there a little bit. He'll have a couple of weeks off, but I think the Yankees' main priority, get him healthy and look forward to postseason play.
Okay, let's look at tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. See what know-how can do for you. For the Texas Rangers, it's going to be Ivani Gallardo with a record of 7-9. Pretty good ERA, 3.19. And for the Yankees Flash, it's going to be CC Sabathia. Let's take a look at his last start.
Well, we'll take a look at his last start in Minnesota, Kenny, and it was kind of like what he's shown us all year long. He shows you some glimpses that he can locate the fastball inside and he can be a successful pitcher. Then all of a sudden the wheels fall off a little bit and he gets hit hard. Ends up giving up 5 earned runs in this game in Minnesota. This was a game that Alex Rodriguez had the big comeback with the 3 home runs. This is going to be a 2-run shot to Hicks. Torrey Hunter goes the other way, a 3-run shot, 5 earned runs in all. Sabathia trying to step it up here in Texas and pick up his ball club.
Well, the Yankees did pick CC up in that game, and the Yankees actually picked off the first 2 games of this series. A lot of offense in the first 2 for the Yankees. But the Rangers bounced back last night to take the 3rd game. Can the Yankees make it 3 out of 4 here in Texas? That's coming up next, right here on YES. Great deals are on at the Honda Summer Clearance Event by Advanced Radiation Centers in New York. When it comes to fighting cancer, precision is everything. Call 844-2-RADIATION-DOC. And by RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Another hot one here in Texas. Triple digits today before the ball game. 100 degrees. That baseball will be picked up momentarily by Yvonne Gallardo, who will get the start for the Rangers tonight. As you can see, the fans trying to keep cool any way they can here in Texas. They're having a heat wave in this part of the country. Well, the wind is blowing, but it's not doing much of cooling here at Globe Life Park. Let's check out the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus as they try and make a 3 out of 4 here in Texas. At the very top, it is going to be Jacoby Ellsbury. He's in center field. Brett Gardner will be in left, followed by the designated hitter Alex Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, playing first base, Mark Teixeira. Brian McCann will do the catching. Carlos Beltran will be in right field. Chase Headley's in third. Didi Gregorius in short. And batting ninth and playing second base, Stephen Drew.
Well, manager Joe Girardi sending that lineup out here for the final game of this series against the veteran right-hander Yovani Gallardo. He's just starting his warm-up tosses. We'll look at his numbers on the year. 7-9 the ERA, a very impressive 3.19. And let's check out our pitcher scouting report, which is always brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. The ERA does not tell the whole story. 3.19, very good. That's 10th in the American League, but he's given up 10 earned runs over his last 2 starts. And he's from Fort Worth, so home sweet home here in Texas, and he has a good ERA here at Globe Life Park, 2.43, and he gets the lowest run support in the American League, 3.12 runs per game.
So Gallardo gets a start in the final game of this series and the final regular season meeting between the Yankees and the Texas Rangers. Time for the Texas defense, presented by Geico. Rua's in left, DeShields in center, Chu in right, Beltre, Andrus, Rosales, Fielder, and Chirinos. As Prince Fielder makes his first start at first base in this series. Josh Hamilton will be the DH. Part of the pregame festivities here at Globe Life Park. You can see the cameramen trying to stay cool the best way they can. Hi, guys. And let's take a look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. That's right. The hottest of the 4 days. It's 100 degrees at game time. Humidity 28%. The wind at 5 miles per hour. And the forecast is hot, hot, and more hot.
You know what, Kenny? I think we're getting used to Texas because it didn't feel that bad today to me.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. But wherever we go from this point on, it's going to feel like Antarctica. Here's Ellsbury. He'll get it started for the Yankees. He's 2 for 9 in this series. There are his overall numbers on the season. And on the road trip, Jacoby's just 3 for 23. '29-year-old Yovani Gallardo, born in Mexico, but now, as Flash said, lives in Fort Worth, Texas. 1-1 in his career against the New York Yankees. And here's the first pitch of the game, and it is in there for a called strike. As Flash told you, Gallardo has struggled lately. 19 and third innings. His last 19 in the third, 14 runs, and he's walked 15 hitters. Well, he has kind of struggled. The 0-1 pitch, and it's looped over third, and this is going to be a fair ball. Jacoby Ellsbury turns at first. He's going to head for second. The ball gets by Rua. The ball's heading down towards the corner. Jacoby Ellsbury will go all the way to third. So that should be a double and an error on the left fielder, Ryan Rua.
Well, a good start for the Yankees. Ellsbury, who's been scuffling a little bit lately, just lets the ball get deep, block it off the other way, get yourself back on track. It's going to be a double, and then you see it takes a bad hop. He scored a double and an error. And Ellsbury plays right in front of him. You can see he doesn't need any help from his base coaches at all. He'll be standing on third base with nobody out.
They're usually the good base runners, the ones with decent speed, and they usually don't use the coaches all that often. So man on third, nobody out. Here's Brett Gardner with a chance to drive in a run, get the Yankees on the board. There's a high fly ball, center field. DeShields going back. This should be deep enough. Ellsbury's going to cruise home from third. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead just like that. So Gardner with a sac fly picks up his 47th run batted in of the year.
Good hitting by Ellsbury. You catch a little bit of a break with the error, and then Brett Gardner does not waste any time. Get the ball out over the plate, get it in the air, sacrifice fly, and the Yankees on the board.
And that'll bring up Alex Rodriguez. There are the numbers overall in the season. 5-game hitting streak for Alex, 4 for 12 in this series. A .306 career hitter against his former team, the Texas Rangers. Gallardo's pitch is in there for a call strike. That is Paul Emmel calling balls and strikes tonight. In a 4-game series, every one of the umpires gets a chance behind home plate. And that one just misses, 1-1.
Well, the Yankees scored 21 runs on Tuesday, only 2 last night, and you get the bad news that Pineda missing his start tonight. Sabathia taking over. You can make it a whole lot easier if your offense wakes up a little bit tonight.
2 balls and a strike. For those of you who might have missed it, we had the story on the pregame, and of course in our open that make that Michael Pineda's gone on the DL with a strained right forearm. He should not pick up a baseball for 7 to 10 days. Then go from there. There's a pitch for a strike, and it's 2-2 on Alex Rodriguez. We saw the same thing with the Masahiro Tanaka earlier this year, and the same thing with Andrew Miller, both with strained forearms. They both are back in action.
Good news, Yankees have a 6-game lead coming into tonight.
Full count now on Alex Rodriguez, so you're right, a little bit of a cushion.
A little bit of a cushion. The most important thing, get Michael Pineda back and healthy and pitching like a top end of the rotation. Because to be honest, he's been scuffling a little bit lately, and really it's been the slider that has taken a step backwards.
It's gone kind of flat.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch on the way to Alex Rodriguez, and he hits it hard, but granted shortstop Elvis Andrus. And he will throw on the first, and that will be the second out of the inning. So 2 outs, nobody on. Yankees have a run in. It'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Mark Teixeira. Teixeira originally, or you go back to his draft days, that was in 2001. He's the first-round pick of these Texas Rangers. By 2003, he was in the major leagues, and he led all rookies in home runs with 26. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike. A 3-time All-Star, made the All-Star team this year. That's off the corner, and it's a ball and a strike. And some other players out of that draft: Joe Mauer, Mark Pryor, Dewan Brazelton, Gavin Floyd, and Mark Teixeira. And Teixeira originally was a third baseman. His ball's hit high, hit pretty well. Going back as a Shields near the wall, and this one is gone. A home run for Mark Teixeira, and the Yankees lead 2-0. Home run number 25 on the season, and the Yankees have jumped out in front with a couple here in the first off Gallardo.
Well, Mark Teixeira with a night off last night, and if you think back earlier in the series, got robbed of a home run by Martin, who was playing center field, and Mark Teixeira eliminates that possibility here with this swing. Down, out over the plate, he works underneath it, gets great backspin to Shields, runs out of room. Like you said, Kenny, home run number 25.
Takes over the team lead, one more than Alex Rodriguez, and brings up Brian McCann with 2 outs and nobody on. And McCann will take a pitch over the outside corner for a call strike.
Another look on Yesmo, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Tri-State Dealers. Really get some extension back towards the pitcher.
Is there any way to explain to fans what hitting a home run feels like?
How about perfection? You almost don't feel it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And you would speak better to this than me, obviously.
Pitch is fouled off. But Flash, I don't know about that, Flash. You had 7 multi-home run games in your career. 2 of them were here. May 17th, 1999, John Burkett, he gave up a few. And September 17th, 1999, Rick Hellick, he also gave up a few. but you had 5 home runs in this ballpark.
I loved hitting here, but I was a pull power guy. I don't know what it feels like, Kenny, to go opposite field or dead center.
Oh, okay.
Now you know what that feels like.
Well, it's pretty good. 1-2 on McCann. I saw that on our notes tonight. I said I got to get that in, so we got out of the way early. 5 home runs in one season in this park. They were happy to see you leave town. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's low and away. 2-2 on McCann. McCann's got a 2-for-14 trip going. But one number about McCann this year, he averages about a run batted in every 5 at bats. That's among the best ratios in the league. This pitch is lined towards the corner in right field. Cut off by Chu, and McCann's going to hold on with a single. That was a rocket. So the Yankees hit the ball pretty hard here in the first inning.
Yankees only 2 runs last night. They've already equaled that total here. And Brian McCann, a couple of hard balls last night, foul. He's able to keep this one fair. Hands inside the baseball. Like you said, it had that good sound to it. Just a rocket into right field.
So he's on first with 2 down. I'll bring up Carlos Beltran. Beltran hit a home run last night. The Yankees took a 1-0 lead in the second inning. In fact, they scored 2 in the second. But the Rangers came back with 3 of their own in their half of the inning. For Beltran, it was his 8th home run of the year and the 381st of his career. That pitch is high for ball 1. By the way, if you're measuring, or you want to know the measurement on Teixeira's home run, 413 feet. Just to the left of straightaway center field. And that's a call strike to Beltran. '20th pitch coming up. And that's a ball. 2-1 on Carlos. The Rangers, looking for pitching help, came up with Gallardo over the winter. Came over from Milwaukee, where 3 times he was the Brewers pitcher of the year. That pitch is low. 3 balls and a strike. 2011 he went 17-10. 2012 he went 16-9. He was a big part of their rotation. Pitch is grounded foul down the first base side. Fielder comes up with it. And one thing I'm reading about Gallardo today, he's a pretty good hitter. 12 home runs he's hit in his career.
Wow.
He's had a game, and only 3 pitchers in Major League history have done that. Had 10 strikeouts in a game and won a 1-0 game on the home run that he hit. Red Ruffing did it for the Yankees in 1932. An early win did it for the Chicago White Sox in 1959.
Heard a starting pitcher say, just get me one and I'll take care of it, but he did it all himself that night.
On the 3-2 pitch, McCann's on the move, and Beltran draws a walk, and the inning will continue, and the pitch count will climb.
If you look at Gallardo and his breakdown on pitches, 55% fastball, throws his slider a lot at about 29%, and he doesn't take a lot off. The fastball's 90 and the slider's about 87. And that's usually not good news. If you're a hitter, you can gear up for one speed, put some pretty good swings. The Yankees doing that here early on in this one.
Yeah, one problem he has, he's among the league leaders in base on balls. That was his 47th walk of the year. Here's Headley, who's had himself a tremendous series. And he'll take a pitch outside for a ball. Headley's 6 for 12 in this series. He's got a 7-game hitting streak going. He's had a heck of a road trip. He's got a heck of a July going. And he's up here with 2 on and 2 outs in the first inning. And that's a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, there's that slider at 87. It doesn't have much break on it. It's only 3 miles an hour off of his fastball. So if you make a mistake location-wise, you should see a pretty good swing.
Ball is hit hard. Fielder doesn't have a chance, but it's foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Yankee third baseman. I mentioned Headley's 7-game hitting streak. His career high is 16. He did that back in 2011 with the San Diego Padres. Pitch is looped towards left center field. This is going to fall in for a base hit. McCann's rounding third. Here comes the throw to third. Beltran's going to be safe, and the Yankees take a 3-0 lead. So Headley, who has been red hot, continues. He's now 7 for 13 in this series and 11 for 24 on the road trip. And that will bring out the pitching coach, Mike Maddox.
Well, when you go through one of those hot streaks, everything you hit hard drops, and you'll also get a few cheapies. This looked like a slider, and he just flips it the other way, right into left center field. Brian McCann scores easily. Beltran in the third. And Chase Headley continuing his hot hitting, a big 2-out base hit and an RBI.
Mike Maddox back to the dugout. And it'll bring up Didi Gregorius. Like Headley, he's had a pretty good road trip. 10 for 19. And he's got more hits in this series than any Yankee. 8 hits in this series. First and third, 2 down, 3 runs in for the Yankees. Gregorius swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Now they do keep track of who swings at the first pitch most often. I bet he's up there among the league leaders.
Well, there's no problem with that if you put up these type of numbers like he has against the Rangers. 667, and you can go up there looking for a first pitch as long as it's a good pitch to hit and to drive, and that's what Gregorius has been doing lately.
That's inside, 1-1. Didi cooled off somewhat last night. He went 1 for 3. Pitch count will be at 30 following this pitch. Check swing, roller, goes foul. 1-2. And when you look out there and you see that the temperature is 100 degrees, you don't want to be on the mound for 30 pitches in the first inning.
I don't think your teammates want to be out there either. I'm sure they're thinking the same thing.
What is going on? Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. Good stop by Chirinos, the catcher.
Chirinos has really done a nice job all series blocking. That is textbook right there, saving a run. It's the angle of his chest forward, deadens the ball right next to home plate, and then you freeze the runner at first with your eyes.
Like you're daring him to go. Toss over to first, and Headley's back easily.
You know who appreciates that would be Gary Tuck in that Yankee bullpen. He keeps stats and little notes on how many balls in the dirt, how many blocks, how many runs you saved. Don't know if they do that here in Texas, but Gary pays attention out there in that Yankee pen.
How many bases you save?
Yeah.
Runners moving up. Ground ball towards the middle. Rosales on the backhand flips to Andrus for the force on Headley. But the Yankees pick up 3 runs. One of them on Mark Teixeira. 25th home run of the year. This one's gone, and the Yankees are up 3-0. Your local Acura dealer. These are the hitters that CC will be facing tonight. At the very top, Delino DeShields, he's in center field. Elvis Andrus at short. Prince Fielder at first base tonight. Adrian Beltre, the cleanup hitter, at third. Josh Hamilton will be the designated hitter. Ryan Ruiz in left. Shin Soo Choo is in right field. Adam Rosales at second base. And batting ninth and catching, Robinson Chirinos.
Well, that lineup for the Texas Rangers, they thought they were going to face Michael Pineda tonight. They are not. It's going to be CC Sabathia going on 4 days rest. 20th start, 4-8, 5.38 ERA. Look at our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Yankees hoping he can step it up tonight. Pineda going down. We'll see if he can fill that void. And he gave up 2 home runs his last time out against the Twins, Torrey Hunter and Aaron Hicks. That was really the difference in that ball game. And the Ranger numbers are not good. 4.82 ERA against them. And May 23rd, Sabathia gave up 6 runs and 2 1/3.
DeShields takes a pitch from Sabathia, misses for ball 1. You'll notice right away that at the corners the Yankees are in. DeShields leads the league with 7 bunt hits. And there is a call strike from Sabathia. Despite the bad numbers, Sabathia must have got a lot of run support against the Rangers because he's 11-4 in his career against Texas. And that misses inside, 2-1.
Well, we'll see how he does tonight. I'm sure he got word last night that he was going to be getting the ball tonight. So it wasn't like one of those situations you show up at the ballpark and, hey, you're starting. But going on 4 days rest, the numbers have not been great on that.
DeShields fakes a bunt, takes a strike, 2-2. In fact, DeShields, Martin, and Adam Rosales were all out here working on their bunting this afternoon before the game. The Rangers lead the league in sacrifice bunts and bunt base hits. Two-2 pitch, fouled at the plate. Back to the screen. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. DeShields, as we told you, the son of Delino DeShields, 13-year Major League veteran back in the 90s, primarily for Montreal and the Dodgers. Pretty good second baseman. Had breaking balls outside. Count is run full.
Sabathia has done a good job with the running game, but DeShields, one of those guys you want to keep off bases and make your life a whole lot easier. And get that leadoff hitter out here in the first.
Payoff pitch, and it's grounded towards the hole, and it's going to be knocked down by Gregorius, but there'll be no play. An infield single for Delino DeShields.
Well, Sabathia with a 3-run lead comes right at the leadoff hitter, and he hits a ground ball. Indeed, he's showing some good range just getting to it. Lays out for it. Even if he comes up with it clean, he's not going to have any play. So DeShields getting an opportunity against a left-handed starter, a leadoff base hit. The running game will be a factor. 16 stolen bases on the year, has only been thrown out 3 times.
Now DeShields, as Flash mentioned, 16 steals in his first full season in the major leagues here, but he's got a ways to go before he catches his dad. His dad in his first full season at 40. There's a bunt by Andrus. It's a good one. Getting over the cover, but not in time as Drew, and it's a bunt single. Andrus with the bunt single moves DeShields to second. It's a big part of the Rangers game.
Well, we know that CC Sabathia doesn't get off the mound well. Mark Teixeira very aggressive coming after, and you see how far away Stephen Drew was, and he just can't make up the ground. Double play depth. Andrus takes advantage of a good bunt. And you watch Sabathia coming off the mound. Mark Teixeira very aggressive going for it, and the timing just doesn't work.
Well executed by Andrus to pick up a bunt single. So 2 on, nobody out. Prince Fielder, the first baseman at the plate. Let's go to the Honda League leaders with Prince Fielder. Batting average, he is second. Miguel Cabrera, who's still on the DL, won't be back for a while. Jason Kipnis, Eric Hosmer, and Mike Trout among the league leaders in batting average. Ball is hit hard towards center field. Ellsbury is there. He'll make the catch. DeShields tags at second and moves over to third as Ellsbury gets the ball back into second base. So the Rangers now have runners on the corners with one out, and Adrian Beltre will come up, the veteran third baseman. There are the numbers on the season. And during this series, Flash and I have commented that Beltre's swing does not seem the same. Now, he was out earlier with a sprained thumb on the disabled list, but somehow last night he came up with 2 line drive hits. But you could see sometimes when he swung and missed, he had to let go of the bat. First pitch, and that is a call, strike one. With runners in scoring position, $194.
These two have a lot of history. 32 at bats against each other. Beltre at .250 batting average.
Line drive. Headley has it. He looks. There will be no other play, and there's 2 outs. Beltre hit it on the nose. There are 2 down. You can't hit it much better than that.
If you're Sabathia, sometimes it's just better to be lucky than good. Line drive right at Headley.
Anytime there's a left-hander on the mound, third baseman has a chance to have a busy night. Right-handed hitters pulling the ball down his way. Here's Josh Hamilton with 2 down. Hamilton had 2 hits here last night. Curve drops in there for a call strike.
Hamilton has really struggled against Sabathia. Only 2 for 20 against Sabathia through their careers.
Fastball misses the inside corner, 1-1. Hamilton's done some damage against the Yankees. His last 10 games against the Yankees, Bombers, 6 have been multi-hit games, including last night's game. Former MVP awaits, and it's dug out of the dirt by McCann. 2 balls and a strike. Sabathia trying to keep the Rangers off the board here in the bottom of the first. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Curveballs hit high in the air to right field towards the corner. Beltre looks up, and this one is gone. A home run for Josh Hamilton. And the Rangers have tied this ball game. Looked like a hanging curveball, and Hamilton didn't miss it.
I mentioned the good numbers for Sabathia against Hamilton. But you're right, Kenny, a slider, and it just spins middle, a little cement mixer right down Broadway. Hamilton gets a bat head out, a couple of hits last night, and a 3-run jack. Get the Rangers right back in this one. That's the last thing the Yankees wanted to see right there. You jump out 3-0 early.
For Hamilton, his 4th home run of the season. An infield single, a bunt single, and a 3-run homer. Here's Ryan Rua, the left fielder. 356 feet on that home run to right field. So we're back where we started. It's a 3-3 game. We're all tied up. This pitch is fouled off by Rua. Quickly, let's check out the Yankees on defense. You got Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran. You got Headley, Gregorius, Drew, Teixeira, McCann doing the catching. Presented by Geico. inside. Rua skips rope. Next pitch will be number 20 for Sabathia. Rua with a bouncing ball to third. Nice hop for Headley. Across to Diamond. That's the final out of the inning. But the Rangers storm back. If the Yankees score 3 in the top half of the inning, the Rangers score 3 of their own. On to the second. It's tie game. And there's our man, John Flaherty. And there's John Burkett. We already mentioned him. 2 home, same spot.
Full power, Kenny.
Yep, full power. Well, a little bit further towards left center. Man, great swings. Good extension. Those Tampa Bay Devil Rays or something in those days.
Got to look proud of his stuff coming around second base, didn't he?
Oh. Here's Stephen Drew. He hits the first ball on the ground, and Andrews has it. So 1 pitch and 1 out here in the second inning. Now with Ellsbury coming to the plate, remember they said it was a double and an error on the left fielder Rua, but they have changed this because this ball actually hit a sprinkler head and took an erratic hop. So they're going to change this, not an error on the left fielder. So Rua escapes an error. And it's going to go as a 3-base hit, a triple.
Gallardo picks up the earned runs.
So Ellsbury gets his first triple of the season because of a sprinkler head down the left field line. Takes a pitch here for a strike. I want to get out the whiteout here and erase that error. That pitch is low and away. Ball on a strike.
You know, Kenny, thinking back to those home runs, and the last 2 were against Rick Helling, September 17th, 99.
Well, you remember.
Well, I remember because I was going to be a free agent at the end of that year in a couple of weeks, and I was trying to negotiate an extension with Tampa Bay. And things were not going too well until that night.
The second night.
The second night. Hit a couple of home runs against Helling. The next thing you know, Chuck Lamar, the GM, says, we'll give you what you want. Wow. So I need to send Rick Helling a little Christmas card. Appreciate it, buddy.
If you'd known it was that easy, you'd done it a lot earlier.
Wasn't that easy.
3-3 game. Brett Gardner's coming to the plate. Gardner hit a sacrifice fly after the triple by Jacoby Ellsbury. The now triple. Gardner hit it well to center field. And Gallardo Deals, and it is a call strike. This is Gallardo's second start against the Yankees this season. He beat the Yankees May 24th at the stadium, allowing 2 runs and 4 hits in 6 innings. As Texas won by a score of 5-2, the Rangers swept that series in New York. Pitch number 40 coming up, and Gardner takes it for a strike, and it's 1-2. So each team getting off on the good foot in the first inning. 3 for the Yankees, 3 for the Rangers. And we are tied again. Pitch is fouled off. Gardner spoils it. You know, all the home run heroics I was speaking of with Gallardo, I think the one he might be the most proud of, besides the fact he's hit 12 in the major leagues, he was the first pitcher ever that hit a home run off Randy Johnson. So you can take that to the bank. Off the corner, 2-2. So he's not your ordinary hitting pitcher. Fouled off. Looked like a slider down and in, and Gardner just got a piece of it.
I think it was a slider, but when you watch Gallardo and a slider, it's not your typical break across the plate and have some depth. It kind of just spins and goes straight down. Good job by Brett Gardner just fouling it off.
Pitch is popped up, and this is going to be out of play. No play for Chirinos. Flashes a look at the delivery of Gallardo.
You see the big high leg kick and comes right over the top. Just trades that left shoulder, and the right arm comes right through. His name's been thrown out there a little bit at the trade deadline.
Gardner slaps it towards left field. Coming on is Rua. He'll make the catch for the out. So the Yankees go in order here in the second inning. On to the bottom of the second in a 3-3 game.
Acquiring Dustin Ackley from Seattle in exchange for Ramon Flores and Jose Ramirez. And for the Yankees, Ackley means versatility.
He's a guy that over the last 3 or 4 years has played about 5 different positions, so he's a guy that we feel that we can move everywhere. Obviously he won't be here today, So I think the plans are he'll be in Chicago tomorrow, and we'll have to make a decision on something.
The Yankees will have a tough decision to make tomorrow as far as that 25-man roster is concerned. Something to consider, guys, although he has played second base and a little bit of first base in the past, he has only played second base once in the last 2 years. Now, obviously, Robinson Cano is there and plays just about every day. That's a big reason why. But as far as tonight's game is concerned, some other moves were made. Pineda placed on the DL. Also, Brian Mitchell called up, so there's an extra arm in that pen, along with Nick Goody, and Cotham sent back to AAA screening.
Thank you very much, Meredith. Of course, you can hear Meredith throughout our game tonight and on the post-game show with Bob and Jack. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and Chu hits a high fly ball to right. Beltran looks at this one, and this one's in the upper deck and then bounds out. And it's 4-3 Texas. Shin So Chu with his 13th home run of the year.
The one thing when you think about CC Sabathia's year, it's the right-handers that have been beating him up with the long ball. He'd only given up one home run to a left-handed hitter all year until tonight. Hamilton took him deep, a 3-run home run, and Chu follows it up with a solo shot. If you watch Carlos Beltran in right field, there was pretty much no doubt about where this one was going to end up.
So 4-3 Texas. Shin-Soo Choo with the home run. And the first pitch is outside to Adam Rosales. Here's a look at Chu's swing. Yeah, the only lefty to take CC deep until tonight was Lucas Duda of the Mets. That was back in April. Rosales swinging, and he fouls it off. CC has now given up 23 home runs this year. That's tied for first most allowed with Phil Hughes of the Minnesota Twins.
Lefty's hitting under 200 coming into this game against Sabathia with that one home run you mentioned, Kenny. Those numbers are changing tonight. It's so disappointing. You come out, you score 3 runs early, you get a quick lead. Now you're trailing here, nobody out in the second.
This ball is popped up to the right side. Teixeira drifting back. He's called off by Stephen Drew, who makes the play. There's one out. So 1 down, and the number 9 hitter, Robinson Chirinos, will come to the plate. Splash hit. He's had a good series defensively. Just 1 for 8 offensively for the Rangers catcher. And the first pitch is in there for a call strike. That's low and away. If there's any solace for pitchers who gives up home runs and give them up quite a few, home runs, just point to Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven. He's got the record for over a 2-year period. He gave up 50 in gave up 100 in 2 years.
2 years.
2 years gave up 100 home runs. He's in the Hall of Fame. Gave up 50 something 1 year and was in the 40s the next year. I don't think anybody's going to break that record.
I hope they were solo shots, right? Say the solo shots don't beat you.
Pitch is fouled off.
I'm just thinking this has got to be frustrating for Sabathia. I mean, you think back to his last outing, gave up a couple of home runs against Minnesota. 2 home runs early in this one. Did not have a good game against the Rangers at Yankee Stadium on May 23rd. 6 runs, 7 hits, and 2 in the third in that game.
Chirinos hits it hard, a one-hopper. Great stab by Gregorius. The throw is in time for the out. Excellent play. Gregorius with the quick hands will haul that one in. There's 2 down.
Nice play by Gregorius just to hang in there, gets that in-between hop. Again, that strong, accurate throwing arm. Made an error last night. Nice play there. But really stepped up his game all around, offensively and defensively. Not much you can do here. It's like playing the hot corner at third. You just kind of hang in there, make the play. Good throw.
You mentioned his error last night. That was his first error in 29 ball games, the longest streak of the season for him. Delano to Shields, reached on an infield single and scored. Takes a pitch for a called strike. Chase Headley also made an error last night. That broke his string of 25 consecutive games without an error. So the left side had been pretty solid until last night. That pitch is up and away, and it's 1-1. But the way they've both been hitting, they more than have covered up that one error apiece over about a month period of time. That pitch is swung on and missed on a changeup. It's 1-2. A 1-2 pitch, and that just missed the inside corner.
Tell you what, looked like a good pitch right there. Home plate umpire Paul Immel. Inside half, Brian McCann brings it back up to the zone. They don't get the call, and that's really where you want Sabathia to work. In on the righties.
That had the height.
Borderline pitch.
Count has run full. Second 3-ball count that Sabathia's gone to tonight. And here's the payoff pitch. Swung on in, foul tipped into the glove of McCann, and that'll do it. But Shin Soo Choo puts the Rangers in front with his 13th home run of the year.
Yes, as NYCFC's new power trio of stars takes a spotlight in a match with the Montreal Impact. Watch New York City FC presented by Etihad Airways Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock right here on Yes. Top of the third inning, Alex Rodriguez leading off, be followed by Mark Teixeira and Brian McCann on our Audi A3. The Yankees trailing 4-3. A couple of home runs. The difference for the Texas Rangers.
Flash, I was almost right with Blyleven. I said 100. He actually gave up 96 in 2 years. 51 year, came back, gave up 46 the next year. I'll tell you, when I faced him, he wasn't giving up that many homers.
Ground ball. Andrus, nice play. We'll see if he has enough on the throw, and he does. An athletic play by Elvis Andrus going to his left. A nice pick by Prince Fielder to get the first out here in the third.
Well, Andrus has made a couple of good plays against Alex Rodriguez in this series. Of course, Alex does not get down the line the way he used to, and go back a few years ago, this would have been an infield single, but instead, he's going to be thrown out pretty easily. Not even in the picture as of yet. Elvis Andrus, who this year has had a fielding problem, believe it or not. He's one of the better fielders in the league, but he's made 18 errors, and that's as many as he made all last season.
Teixeira at first pitch swinging, rifles one the other way. So Teixeira having a good night already. His 25th home run of the year in the first, and now a base hit here in the third.
Just some pitchers to just throw your speed. Guys like John Burkett, Rick Helling.
Coming into this matchup, Mark Teixeira had not had a hit against Gallardo.
He's making up for lost time.
0 for 9. Those numbers are now changing with the home run and the base hit. And Brian McCann had a single his first at bat. Yankees trying to take this final game of the series here in Texas, move on to Chicago, play the White Sox, who are playing some good baseball lately. They've won 7 in a row. They're 1 game under 500.
And they're leading tonight in Boston.
Only 2.5 behind the Twins for that second wild card, and they're talking about making some moves now.
Ooh.
That's how quickly things change. You win 7 games in a row. It's picked by Chirinos. Tigers beating up on Baltimore 8-2 in the top of the 6th.
You know, that game in Boston tonight, there was a rain delay. And if that game had been rained out, they're actually underway now. Chris Sale was scheduled to pitch for the White Sox tonight. And you know the Yankees don't want any part of him.
No.
If that game had gotten rained out, he'd been pushed back to tomorrow in Chicago.
Toronto Blue Jays 5-2 in the top of the 7th, and the Blue Jays making a ton of noise.
Yeah.
Big trade, David Price, Tulowitzki a few days ago. Very aggressive up before the trade deadline. Brian McCann hits this ball well to right field, and this one's not going to come back. 16th home run of the year for Brian McCann. 2-run shot, and the Yankees take the lead 5-4. Might have one of those nights here in Texas, Kenny.
Downright offensive if you're a pitcher. So McCann puts the Yankees back out in front. Wow, we're in the 3rd inning. Been 4 home runs already in this game. Wow, right there. He knew it. Just about everybody in the park knew it as soon as it was hit. What great extension on the swing. Wow, beautiful swing by Brian McCann. 16th of the year. He now has 60 runs batted in. That gives the Yankees 3 hitters in a row with at least 60 runs batted in. Whew.
399 feet for Brian McCann.
You know, pitchers like it when outfielders just take that courtesy run. They know they're not going to get the ball back, but an outfielder makes it look good, like it might have been able to be caught.
Carlos Beltran hits this one well to right center field. Chu going back, and he's going to make the play right in that little cutout at about 375 feet for a long second out here.
I don't think Beltran quite got that one. I think he got in on the hands. Jeff Bannister talking it over with Mike Maddox. He might be saying to him, he's standing too far away from the ball after he throws it.
Looking at the numbers here, Gallardo had only given up 2 home runs career in this park.
Wow.
Mark Teixeira and Brian McCann have hit 2 home runs tonight for the Yankees. 2 down will bring up Chase Headley, who had a base hit and an RBI his first at bat.
We're in the 3rd inning, and already 4 Yankees have a run batted in this game.
.272, 9 home runs, 42 RBIs. And the next pitch for Gallardo will be number 60 already, as Headley pops one up. Andrus going out. Rua coming in, and it'll be the left fielder and makes the play. But a swing of the bat from Brian McCann, his 16th home run of the year, a 2-run shot, gives the Yankees a 5-4 lead. Toyota's official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And the question, is there a player you have been surprised to see not traded in recent days? If so, who and why? And our answer is from @Jared James LA, Yoenis Cespedes and Jay Bruce. Price and Cueto are already traded. I'm shocked the Tigers and Reds have not moved the big bats yet. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using #YankeesPrius to keep the conversation going.
There's still time.
Yeah, Cespedes, I think he's going. Dave Dombrowski, the general manager of the Tigers, already trading David Price. Joakim Soria went to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think Cespedes is probably going to be the next big player in Detroit that has moved.
Who needs an outfielder with some power?
The Chicago White Sox were linked, talking about Cespedes.
Oh.
And are out 8-3. The Yankees now lead 5-4. 6 hits to 4 hits for the Texas Rangers.
I'm trying to think of teams that are right on the cusp of the playoffs. How about the Chicago Cubs? That might be a good match.
There you go. So CC Sabathia has been giving a lead again. We'll see if he can hold it here in the 3rd. If you think back to that first inning, Elvis Andrus had that bunt base hit that kind of set the first inning in motion. His batting average now even out at .250.
Now the Yankees will be in Chicago tomorrow, so they'll be on Central Time, and the trade deadline is 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Central tomorrow. 4 Eastern, of course. But there's still some time to make some deals.
Be a 1-2 from Sabathia. This is up and away. This has really been the issue for CC Sabathia this year, giving up the leads. Trying to settle down here in the third inning. 42 pitches already. Andrus hits his ball hard. A leadoff base hit here in the third.
You know, and by CC giving up the leads, Joe Girardi's managing him differently now. CC has the lead going into about the 6th inning. The Yankees usually turn to the bullpen. Now, years ago, that wasn't the case. They let CC finish what he had started. But with a strong bullpen core out there for the Yankees, they turn to the pen to get the job done and finish off ball games.
Bring up Prince Fielder playing first base tonight. He had a fly ball to center field his first at bat. Sabathia quickly ahead.
Remember the other night I mentioned that his dad Cecil said he's turned into a singles hitter. He leads the American League in singles. Prince Fielder with 91.
He's also mixed in 15 home runs, 58 RBIs, and the impressive .330 batting average.
Man, he's having a good year in Texas. Remember, he missed all of last year with neck surgery. 40 multi-hit games, leads the American League.
I was talking last night. He does a great job against righties, hitting over .360 against right-handed pitching, somewhere around .280 against lefties.
I think Cecil was thinking back that when Prince's days in the National, he hit 50 home runs one year
for the Brewers.
Yep.
These two guys were teammates, right? CC Sabathia and Fielder. Fielder hits this one to right center field. Ellsbury looks like he's going to be able to make the play as Andrus is tagging up at first. He's going to go for second. The throw is right on the money, and a great play by Jacoby Ellsbury. Andrus with some aggressive base running, and he pays the price.
Looks like he got a face full of dirt as well. And the thing about Ellsbury, Ellsbury, I got it, but it's also Beltran who should be alerting him that the runner is tagging at first base. Here's the throw, and as Flash said, it's right on the money. The quick tag by Stephen Drew. You can see Teixeira saying, throw it to second. Get it in there quickly, and he's out. Here it is a look at it again on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. And he has been thrown out, and it looks as though the Rangers aren't going to appeal that. And there are two down. So that's a double play.
CC Sabathia getting a little help from his defense. Two down will bring up Adrian Beltre, who lined out to chase Headley his first at bat. Hit a rocket, has nothing to show for it.
Yeah, outfielders have to alert each other. You know, Ellsbury, his first priority is to catch the fly ball. So Beltran has to alert him that the runner is tagging at first base and get the ball back in quickly. And it appeared that Beltran was right near him doing so. A one-hop throw picks off Andrus, attempting to move up 90 feet.
Beltre, a ground ball to Gregorius. Good throw across to Mark Teixeira. So a little bit of defense being shown here in the third inning. Great throw by Jacoby Ellsbury. Yankees take on the division rival Red Sox. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees umbrella courtesy of Living Language. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Top of the fourth inning, Didi Gregorius leading off. The Gregorius, Drew, and Ellsbury. Gregorius takes a first pitch strike. Didi has 5 home runs this year. 3 of those have been hit against the Texas Rangers. The only person who has hit more against Texas is Mike Trout, who has hit 4 home runs against the Rangers this year.
He's taking a page out of your book, isn't he?
It's all right. Got to have one team to beat up on.
Yeah.
Lincoln scoreboard. Yankees lead 5-4. Said this the other night. Didi Gregorius is going to be another one of those players when he comes to Arlington, has good feelings because he's laying line drives out all over the place.
I feel a little bit better right now. That's his first hit of the night. His 9th hit of this series.
The Yankees really starting to get production from the top to the bottom of the lineup. Drew had a couple of hits last night. Gregorius has been hot. Chase Headley.
You know, you talked about teams that you beat up on. Stephen Drew, .333 career hitter in 20 games against the Texas Rangers. And we just left Minnesota, and he's a career .300 hitter against the Twins. He's having a good road trip. 6 for 17.
Stephen Drew hit a ground ball to second base his first at bat. Trying to get that batting average up over 200. Plenty of power, 13 home runs, 28 RBIs. Been a lot of talk with the acquisition of Dustin Ackley, where he's going to fit in. Can play all 3 outfield positions, first base and second, although Joe Girardi's saying he'll need some time to get reaccustomed to second base. Robinson Cano plays every day out in Seattle, so.
What did they say? Follow the money?
Got that right. It's kind of an interesting pickup, though, Kenny. I mean, Ackley, a very highly thought of player at North Carolina, second pick in the country. Going to get off to a good start out in Seattle and has stalled a little bit, so the Yankees see something there.
Teammate of Adam Warren at Carolina, down there on Tobacco Road.
Another guy from Carolina, Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
The Tar Heels have taken over. Gallardo looking in for the sign. It'll be a 1-2 to Drew. Just misses. Yankees lead 5-4, top of the fourth inning, 7 hits already. A couple of home runs. The Yankees will travel to play Chicago White Sox tomorrow, the last series that they are not going to be in the Eastern time zone. The travel situation will get much better the last couple of months.
And for fans who don't think that's, a big deal, I do, because, as you get towards the latter stages of the season, you don't want to be flying all the way to Texas or all the way to California. It's wear and tear, and I think this changing of time zones as quickly as the players do nowadays, they get tired, it leads to injuries. And I've mentioned this before on the air that when I was playing, I felt that it was easier to navigate the schedule than it is now. Because when you went to the West Coast, you stayed out there for about 10 to 12 days. You made all 3 stops. So you got used to the time zone and you came back. But it wasn't constantly going out there for one trip, then coming back somewhere else to another time zone, then going back home. That's the way it is now.
So you'd make the swing Seattle, L.A., and Oakland.
Baltimore, the Yankees, and the Red Sox would all come west at the same time and flip cities. Then the Western teams would come east, and they do the same thing.
Full count to Stephen Drew. We'll see if Gregorius is on the move. He is. Drew fouls it off.
And in those days, there were only 2 divisions, so you would make that trip twice a year. And there are people out there saying there were only 2 divisions. Yep, at one time there were only 2, East and West.
Gallardo already up to 70 pitches. There goes Gregorius. Drew hits it hard right at the second baseman. Rosales over to first. Joe Girardi moving. Gregorius staying out of the double play. It's time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag YesDataStrongFan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Didi Gregorius in scoring position for Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury a triple his first at bat, a ground ball to short.
Drew hit that ball pretty hard. And with Gregorius on the move, the Yankees avoid a double play and they have a runner in scoring position.
Ellsbury first pitch swinging, ground ball. Second baseman Rosales, an easy play for him. Gregorius moves over to third. Well, we're going to bring in our Meredith Marakovitz, who has a little point about Adam Warren.
Well, Flash Kenny mentioned the fact that he's a former teammate of Dustin Ackley, Adam Warren and Dustin Ackley. Well, those 2 guys actually lived together for a year in college, and Adam Warren was asked earlier today about what he thinks about Ackley, and he said, I'm basing this back on the days when I was teammates with him, but added that he's extremely talented, a good guy who works very hard. He really raved about his work ethic and did mention that he's a little bit quiet, but he's a complete gamer, and he hopes he brings that over to the Yankees clubhouse.
Thank you, Meredith. Well, the one thing the Yankees do have a good thing going with is that clubhouse and that team chemistry. Yeah. So we'll see how Ackley fits in.
I agree with you, Flash, because it was certainly on display in Minnesota when the Yankees had that comeback victory. Yeah, I mean, when John Ryan Murphy hit that home run, you would have thought Santa Claus had just stopped off in the Yankee dugout.
Two down, Brett Gardner gets an opportunity. Gregorius taking his lead off at third.
His teammates were all over him.
Brett with a sacrifice fly and an RBI. And a line drive to left field his last at bat. Going to have to battle here quickly behind in the count 0-2. Here's a look back, Kenny, at that John Ryan Murphy home run.
Well, the Yankees have been behind, and here's the celebration. 3-run home run in the top half of the 9th inning. Yeah, Santa Claus is in town. He's bringing presents for everybody. His second major league home run.
A great comeback win in Minnesota. As Brett Gardner strikes out on a high fastball, so Gallardo got himself in a little bit of trouble, was able to work his way out of it, and the Yankees still lead 5-4. Yes is brought to you in part by the Acura It's That Kind of Summer event, and by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. And by Heineken. Open your world. CC Sabathia back out to work in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Josh Hamilton leading off. Hamilton, a big 3-run home run to tie it up in the 1st inning. Look at our Lincoln scoreboard. The Yankees lead 5-4. Sabathia able to work his way through the 3rd. Big swing and a miss by Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, that was a better break on that breaking ball. Hamilton hit a hanger back in the 1st inning. He gave it a long ride.
You saw the numbers for Hamilton, about 255, but he's over a 300 hitter here at Globe Life Park. 3 of his 4 home runs have been hit here.
We talked about his 5 years here in Texas. In his first go round, drove in over 500 runs.
Be a 2-2 from Sabathia. Good fastball right on the outside corner, strike 3.
Well, CC much better this time against Hamilton. Well spotted fastball. McCann's target is right there and a little up, but it hit the corner. And Sabathia picks up his 2nd strikeout of the night.
One down, it'll be Ryan Rua playing left field tonight against a left-handed starter. Rua, a ground ball to Chase Headley, his first at bat. He takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Ball hit well right at Jacoby Ellsbury. Comes in, he's not going to be able to get it. And it gets by him all the way to the center field wall. Rua around 2nd, into 3rd. Third base coach Tony Beasley waving him home. The throw from Drew, not in time. An inside the park home run, you would have to assume, as Jacoby Ellsbury laid out for it. We're all tied up at 5.
Once the ball got by Jacoby Ellsbury, the race was on. And Rua circled the bases. If that had scored a home run, and he's looking up at the scoreboard here, this will be his 4th of the year. Here comes Ellsbury with a chance to make the shoestring catch. He comes up short, and there goes Rua. Ellsbury in hot pursuit, and this is going to be a home run as Tony Beasley waves him home. So an inside the park homer. His 4th of the year.
Tell you what, I was impressed. He runs pretty well for a big guy.
Yeah.
Around 2nd base, he was cruising. Chu, a good swing, fouls it off behind 0-2.
Now here's the thing. Ellsbury could not trap it. And with 1 out, you're more apt to lay back and let it fall in for a single. He thought he could make the catch. Because if it's a single, there's still a double play can get you out of the inning. Instead, it's an inside the park homer. And Rua's going to have to catch his breath and stay hydrated on this hot night.
Now, Kenny, I have to ask you, Carlos Beltran in right field, should he be backing up a little bit more?
Well, let's see where he was. We take a look at it again, and I didn't see Beltran in the picture, though. Look out.
This one gets Chu right in the back.
Now we're going to take a look at the home run once again. Here's about straightaway right field. And now he starts to run. You're supposed to be leaning in that direction as Ellsbury's attempting to make the catch. And if you see him lay out, then you start to sprint. And the ball looked like it was already by him by the time Ellsbury, I should say Beltran, started to make his move. You can almost hear the William Tell overture playing in the background as he circles the bases.
I see they're waving him down there in that dugout.
That was the 7th inside the park home run in this stadium's history. And the 4th by the Texas Rangers. The last one was Austin Jackson.
Headley to Drew, double play. So Sabathia picks up a double play to get out of the 4th inning. But the inside the park home run, the exciting play, we are all tied up at 5.
Night and a full moon tonight here in Arlington, Texas. We're going to see some weird things. Sunday on Yes, catch a new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show as the Yankee skipper recaps his long 10-game road trip against the Twins, Rangers, and the White Sox. It's all new Sunday at 6, only on Yes. So it's a 5-5 game. Here's Alex Rodriguez. He swings at the first pitch, lines it into left field for a base hit. And let's go back to Bob Lorenz. He's got another update. Bob. Well, thanks, Bob. Those Jays can put some runs on the board. Here are the standings in the East. At the beginning of the day, the Orioles 6 back, and they're losing. You wouldn't for the Yankees to put them back up to 7 games in the Eastern Division. Teixeira takes a pitch inside. Teixeira tonight is homered, his 25th of the year, and he's singled. He scored both times. On our Bigelow T scoreboard, it's 5-5. We're in the top of the 5th. A wide open offensive game. There have been 5 home runs already. Gallardo's next pitch will be number 80. Both pitchers have had a rough time in this one. There's a call strike to Teixeira, and it's 2-1. The Yankees have 5 runs and 8 hits. A couple of home runs. The Rangers have 5 runs on 6 hits and 3 home runs. upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Well, Paul O'Neill is going to be working the Chicago series. I think we're not going to show that graphic tomorrow. And it's ball 4. Teixeira draws a base on balls. So the Yankees have 2 on. Nobody out here in the 5th inning. Here's Mike Maddox again. The Yankees threatening to break the tie here in the 5th. And Chicago White Sox, their season summary: 49-50, third American League Central. They trail the Royals by 11.5 games. But look what they've done in the month of July: 16-8. Currently on a 7-game winning streak. They are tied tonight with the Red Sox in the 5th inning. Their starters ERA 6th in the American League. 367 runs and 77 home runs, both last. So the pressure's on the pitching staff. And they trail the Twins for the 2nd American League wild card by 2.5 games. Here's McCann. He's got 2 on, nobody out. McCann had a 2-run homer his last time up, his 16th of the year. We're going to see some action in the Rangers bullpen. And McCann takes it high and away for a ball. Pitch count up to 83 for Gallardo, and he's been struggling all the way through this one. So he did have a 1-2-3 inning in the 2nd. Ball and a strike on McCann. McCann pops one foul, and this is going to go back into the seats. That is John Edwards, recalled from Round Rock today. The Rangers made some moves as Phil Klein, who appeared in this series a couple of times, was optioned to AAA Round Rock, and Wandy Rodriguez, who also appeared, was designated for assignment. So Edwards and Alex Claudio were called up to take their places. McCann hits one high and deep, but foul.
McCann with some good swings, a base hit, and also that 2-run home run. He's locked in tonight. The Rangers are making a lot of moves lately, Kenny. Cole Hamels coming over, traded away a bunch of players to get him. Bunch of young prospects.
Off-speed pitch, line to fielder, and hustling back to the bag is Mark Teixeira to avoid the double play.
Good base running right there by Mark Teixeira. He gets congratulated by Tony Pena. Your first reaction, the ball's hit hard. You want to advance towards second base. Good baseball instincts, able to get back easily. You freeze on a line drive, then get back to the bag.
Maybe that's a first baseman knowing, what you're supposed to do over the first base when you're taking a lead. He's probably doubled up a lot of runners. So 1 out, still 2 on for the Yankees. Bring up Carlos Beltran, who has walked and flied out to deep right field. Off the corner, ball 1. Beltran's had 1 hit in this series, and that was a home run. Paul Elmo with the strike call, and it's a ball and a strike, and Gallardo's pitch count's going to jump up to 90 here in the 5th inning on the next pitch. You've been impressed by Chirinos, another good play.
No, he's good. He's like a cat back there too. I mean, he blocks it, and then the quick instincts to get right back out in front of home plate and field it, the breaking ball in the dirt. Textbook form. He can really throw too. An excellent defensive catcher.
Beltran has the count in his favor, 2 balls and a strike. So far tonight, that's what the baseballs have looked like coming up to home plate. 5 home runs in this game. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Beltran likes this one. You know he's going to put his A swing on it. The 6th time tonight that Gallardo's gone to a 3-ball count. Strike 2 call, and the count is 3-2. Gallardo has gone coming into this game. He's had 82 3-2 counts.
Borderline pitch, looked low from the side. Carlos Beltran didn't like it.
Kind of think the runners will not be going here. Not much speed out there. 3-2 pitch, and it's lined towards left field, and Rua is there to make the catch. Beltran hit it well, but Rua makes the catch for out number 2. So Chase Headley will get a chance with 2 down and 2 on. Headley's had a hit tonight and a run batted in that came in the 1st inning. And he's also flying out the left. That base hit extended his hitting streak to 8 consecutive games. And he pops it up. Andres going back, Rua coming on, and it's going to be the left fielder. He makes the catch. The Yankees got 2 men on with nobody out, but from that point on, Gallardo shut the door. And here are the weekend starters. First game of the series will be on Yes tomorrow night. Nathan Eovaldi looking for his 11th win. Carlos Rodon will pitch for the White Sox. Mr. TPA is back for the Yankees. He's pitching Saturday. That game will be on Picks against John Danks. Then Sunday, Ivan Novo will get the start against Jeff Samardzija. And that game will be back on Yes. Robinson Chirinos in this 5-5 game. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Sabathia deals outside for ball 1. Chirinos hit a rocket that Didi Gregorius handled and threw him out. That was in the 2nd inning. Our Bigelow T scoreboard, it's 5-5. 2 balls and no strikes. Chirinos will be followed by the top of the order, Delino DeShields and Elvis Andrus. Pitch is fouled back. 2-1. The moon is sitting high above the left field stands, the upper left field stands here in Texas. What was it, 1969? Men went on the moon, I think. Yeah. Haven't been back since. Must have got what they wanted. Pitch is on the way, and that misses the inside corner. Sabathia falls behind 3 balls and a strike.
Everything just a little bit bigger in Texas. And we've shown what the Beltray, what was that burger called?
Beltray Buster. Yeah, that was last night.
We talked about the hot dog.
I don't remember what that was called. I wasn't interested. Pitch is hit on the ground, and it's through into left field for a base hit. It's the boomstick. We've seen several boomsticks tonight.
I saw some of the New York writers, and they had a chicken kebab that was as big as that hot dog. Now, I don't know what it's called. But it's like everything in the stadium is just supersized. There you go.
What is that?
Chicken kebab right there. Some vegetables. I like it.
Feed your whole row. Here's DeShields. Infield single and struck out. He's also scored a run. He lays down a bunt, and he's going to beat it out. That's his 8th bunt single of the year, and like I said, he was out here earlier today working on this.
Yeah, we saw Andrus early on with a bunt base hit. This is just placed perfectly right on the grass, so you know it's not going to go foul. Tough play for Sabathia, tough play from McCann going out, and possible play for Teixeira coming in.
The Yankees might have to look for the bunt again here. We mentioned the Rangers lead the league in sacrifice bunts, and the Yankees are in on the corners. Andrus is an accomplished bunter. He had a bunt single in the 1st inning. And I think this is part of the scouting report for these Texas Rangers with CC Sabathia on the mound. Does not bounce off the mound as well as he used to. He's had knee surgery. There's the bunt. It goes foul. The Yankee bullpen's getting busy. There's Tony Beasley, the third base coach. Let's see what kind of signs he's going to flip out there.
You know, Kenny, you mentioned Andrus, a good bunter. When you watch that sacrifice bunt attempt, he squared around so early. I mean, just telling everybody, I'm going to bunt here, try to angle it down the third base line. I think a lot of hitters try to show that bunt a little too late and hide it. Your job is to get the bunt down, square early, and get it done.
There's a bunt, and this one is going to go foul. Had some English on it. Spun foul. McCann said let it go. The Rangers have 28 sacrifice bunts this year. So that is a big part of the game. There were at least 3 or 4 Rangers out here working on their bunting before the game, including Andrus and DeShields.
He's going to have a talk with Tony Beasley. Obviously behind in the count 0-2. You want to make sure you're both on the same page.
There's Nick Goody. Has been to Scranton, Wilkes-Barre and back in a short period of time. He's able to come back because of Pineda's injury. Squaring the bunt, and it's called strike 3. Caught looking.
Sabathia comes up with a big pitch when he needed it. Andrew squares around again on an 0-2 count. We'll take a look at the pitch and the location. McCann sets up away. Backdoor slider executed perfectly.
So 1 out, and here comes Prince Fielder. Prince has flied to center twice. The second time he flied out into a double play. Ball's hit to center. On the run is Ellsbury, but moving over is Gardner, and he hauls it in left center field for out number 2. Fielder picking on the first pitch. So the first 2 runners reached, the next 2 are retired. Both bullpens are busy. You saw Goody in the Yankee bullpen. Sam Freeman warming up for the Rangers. Low to Beltran. He's lined out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. 75th pitch coming up for CC Sabathia. But first, we're going to have a discussion on the mound.
Kenny, I want to give a little shout out to John Lee Thompson, a good friend of mine, huge Yankee fan.
Gotcha.
Just went through a few health issues, but he's back home watching the game on the mend. So I look forward to seeing you back at the stadium soon, buddy.
Quick recovery.
That's right.
2 outs, 2 on. 5-5 game. We're in the 5th inning. Foul behind third base coach Tony Beasley and on into the camera well. Texas tonight with runners in scoring position. They're 1 for 5. Torinos takes his lead at second. That's off the corner. 2 balls and a strike to Beltran. Sabathia trying to hold the Texas Rangers right here. First inning was as tough as far as the pitch count is concerned. That's when the Rangers scored 3 of their 5 runs. Off the corner again. 3 balls and a strike. Pitching carefully to Beltran. He's got Josh Hamilton on deck. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. So Beltran takes a walk, and walking out to the mound is pitching coach Larry Rothschild. Let's go back to the first inning. It was a 3-run shot by Hamilton that tied the ball game.
Yeah, and it was a breaking ball and not a very good one, and Hamilton took advantage. Sabathia has been good against left-handed hitters all year. Made a bad pitch there and paid the price.
The next time up, he caught Hamilton looking. Struck him out. So it's going to be lefty on lefty here. One of those nights for Joe Girardi. Bases are full of Texas Rangers. And Hamilton at the plate. Breaking ball hit on the ground. One hopper to Teixeira, and this will do it. Sabathia gets out of it. The Rangers leave. The bases loaded. We're going to the 6th inning in a 5-5 game. A strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag yes data strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. How about that? Brought to you by T-Mobile. Brandon Cota.
Tip of the hat right there.
Yeah. Was the dog smiling?
A little grin on his face like he knew something we don't.
Here's Gregorius, who is 1 for 2. My goodness. The fans are very creative with these photos. 5-5, top of the 6th inning. Gregorius had a base hit his last time up. Broken bat roller to second for Rosales. And this time, Gregorius is retired. One down here in the 6th. Fans, follow the New York Yankees wherever you are with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Here's Drew. He's grounded out twice. Once to short, once to second. Gallardo deals and hits the corner for a strike. Pitch count getting up near 100. That's why Sam Freeman's out there in the bullpen warming up for the Texas Rangers. That's low. In fact, Sam is just kind of standing there. Looks like he's going to toss another one. This is one of those nights, about 3 pitches and you're ready to go. At game time, it was 100 degrees here in Texas. That's off the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Stephen Drew.
It's cooling off, Kenny.
Oh, man. Anybody got a coat? Believe it or not, Meredith has a sweater. The 2-1 pitch, and it's hit on the ground. Bad hop. Fielder stays with it. And Gallardo covers for out number 2. I know she has that sweater. Must be for Chicago. Fielder playing first base tonight. He's been the DH in the first 3 games of this series. So 2 outs, nobody on. Back to the top of the order in Ellsbury. who's tripled, scored a run, and grounded out twice. We're locked at 5. Off-speed pitch, change-up sails away, a little high as well, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. The Yankee bullpen now has Justin Wilson throwing. That even sounded fast. Another change-up, low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Broken bat roller to the left side for Beltre. Stops and guns it to first, and the Yankees go out. 3 ground ball outs here to 6. The Rangers are coming up to the plate. As the Blue Jays have beaten the Kansas City Royals by a score of 5-2. That's the first game of a 4-game weekend series. Ryan Rua is going to lead it off. He's grounded out and an inside the park home run. Hits a ground ball past Didi Gregorius and into left center field for a base hit. Rua's second hit of the night. A leadoff single here in the 6th inning.
Kenny, you mentioned how this infield is baked and the ball gets through quickly. I didn't think Rua hit that ball that well.
That goes back to the old stadium. That was the case over there too.
Lots of swing, kind of reaches out. Just drives it right past Gregorius.
And Joe Girardi coming out. And that's going to be it for CC Sabathia, as the lefty's out of the ball game. So he leaves a man at first with nobody out here in the 6th inning in a 5-5 game, and Justin Wilson is coming in. with a man on and nobody out here in the 6th inning. Here are the numbers. He's making his 47th appearance of the year. 34 strikeouts in 36 innings. This 3-0 out of the bullpen for the Yankees this year. The impressive numbers right at the bottom. Opponents are hitting just 200 against him.
His numbers just keep getting better and better. Only 1 earned run his last 25 appearances, so he's locked in lately.
Part of what has been a very strong bullpen for the New York Yankees. Sabathia leaves a runner, 9 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 80 pitches. And here comes Shin Soo Choo, who homered off Sabathia in the 2nd inning. He was also hit by a pitch. Well, he's 1 for 1. 5-5 game here in the bottom of the 6th. And Choo swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. As we've seen over the year, Wilson has a very lively fastball, mid-90s.
You know what, Kenny? I think that's when his year changed, when he just started rearing back, throwing hard, kind of staying away from the breaking ball a little bit. Gained some confidence, and numbers have gotten better.
Fouled off. Choo is late again, and it's 1-2. Now you saw the numbers on Sabathia sitting on the bench, and for somebody who's had so much success in his career, you know it's got to be tough to go through this type of year. 4-8. ERA over 5. Adjustments in this time of his career. Swing and miss, and Choo is gone. So Wilson puts him away. There's now 1 out and 1 on.
Good sequence by Wilson. A couple of fastballs. Choo is late, and then you pull the string. A good slider. Located down and away. It's just a perfect 2-strike pitch.
Now to the right-handed hitting, Adam Rosales. We should say the right-handed pitching Adam Rosales. He pitched in the 21-5 game. Utility infielder gave up the home run to Brett Gardner that put the Yankees over the 20-run mark. Time is called. I'm not sure who called it there. You know, sometimes a pitcher starts, sees the first sign, and the catcher calls time. That's not what he wanted. Ground ball towards short. Gregorius has it over to Drew for 1. On to Teixeira, and there's your double play. That's the end of the inning. The Rangers do not score here in the 6th. It's on to the 7th. A 6-4-3 double play.
tough outing.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
The Texas Rangers have made a pitching change going to the bullpen. Keone Kela, 48th. This will be the 49th game. 48 appearances tied for the American League lead.
A rookie right-hander.
He will face Brett Gardner, Alex Rodriguez, and Mark Teixeira.
Saw Kela last night. He pitched an inning. Didn't give up any runs, no hits. He had a strikeout.
We're all tied up here in Texas. Final game of the series.
See, Kela has a lively arm. Even in that second night in a row, he's tossing it up there 97 miles an hour.
One to Gardner. Good breaking ball for a strike.
Remember the conversation we had with Tony Pena in Minnesota about pitchers and lighting up radar guns?
Yeah.
And Tony said they all throw hard, but there's a certain amount of pitchability you have to have as well. In other words, make the pitches.
Ground ball. Will it be fair? No, it looks like it's going to be a foul ball.
And he thinks of all the scouts now just look for guys who just rear back and throw hard. But Tony is a little old school. He thinks there should be some ability to actually pitch here as opposed to just throwing the ball as hard as you can.
So locating your fastball as opposed to just letting it rip.
Exactly. He called it pitchability. You know, mixing in your secondary pitches.
Let's see what Kela goes with here, ahead in the count 1-2.
And the way pitching staffs are built now, more from back to front than they used to be front to back. And the hard throwers reside in the bullpens. The pitchability guys are the guys who start the games.
Well, the Yankees would love to get into their bullpen, try to get a run here, but Brett Gardner is going to strike out. Second strikeout of the game for him. Kela off to a good start here in the 7th.
He just beats him with the heat. A little one-on-one, and Kela wins it.
One down will bring up Alex Rodriguez. A couple of ground balls to short and a base hit his last at bat. .279, 24, and 60 RBIs.
As you might expect, the outfielders are deep, just about straight away. Over the years, Alex has proven he can reach any fence anywhere.
Big swing and a miss.
See what Kela goes with here. Some sort of off-speed pitch. It ain't right out in front.
Alex Rodriguez, his 24th home run of the year, the first game of this series. Going the other way. Fouls off a good fastball there. That's really been the difference, Kenny, the ability to hit the fastball this year. I thought that would be the pitch he would have the most trouble with.
You know, but he's a smart enough hitter. He can zone up, you know, look for a pinch. I thought the home run he hit to the opposite way here the other night, he was looking for something out over the plate against Harrison, who was out there all night against right-handed hitters.
Well, he gets an off-speed pitch and another strikeout. It looked like Alex Rodriguez fouled it off into the glove of Chirinos. So Kela off to a good start, couple of strikeouts.
So 2 up and 2 down, and there's the swing, and Alex thought he foul tipped it. And with Teixeira coming to the plate, the shift is on.
Mark having a good night, a home run, a base hit. He walked his last at bat. The Rangers shifting. 25 home runs, 65 RBIs for Mark Teixeira. Really having an amazing comeback year. He is ahead in the count 2-0.
Teixeira and McCann have done most of the damage tonight. They've scored 4 of the 5 runs and driven in 3 of the 5.
This ball hit well to center field. And Mark Teixeira building on his huge night already. Another home run. 2nd of the game, 26th of the year. And the Yankees lead 6-5.
Oh, once again, the straightaway center field. What a night for Teixeira. 3 for 3 with a walk, 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, and 2 driven in. What a night.
There you go. An excited Yankee dugout. I'll remind you of that John Ryan Murphy home run in Minnesota.
A picture perfect swing. That's 2 of them tonight. Fastballs out over the plate. Almost the same pitch that he hit out in the first inning. Or at least the same type of pitch. Fastball out over the plate. Not trying to pull it. Right down the middle of the fairway. Watch the guy in red. He knew what was happening. Oh, he threw it back
in. What a luxury that must be, Kenny. You don't have to think about pulling it. You can go dead central. Well, the Yankees have a lead, and they're all set up with their dominating bullpen.
I'll tell you what, Teixeira got a night off last night.
This replay is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here.
Amazing things just happened here. 417 feet, Flash, straightaway center.
I don't know what that feels like, Kenny. Be able to set my sights to center field as Brian McCann swings over the top of a off-speed pitch. But the damage has been done. Mark Teixeira having a huge game, his 2nd home run of the night, 26th of the year. The Yankee dugout loves it. Six runs, so log on to papajohns.com tomorrow for 50% off your online regular menu price order. Use promo code Yankees6 at papajohns.com. The Yankees leading 6-5, bottom of the 7th inning. Justin Wilson back out for his second inning of work. He'll face Robinson Chirinos. He was 1 for 2 against CC Sabathia. Wilson quickly ahead.
Each team with 3 home runs in this game. And there have been some long ones, as well as the inside the park homer.
So I guess Mark Teixeira enjoyed that night off last night, fully rested today, couple of home runs, 3 hits.
You know, one thing the Yankees have done here, outside of the first day here, they haven't taken batting practice on the field. You know, Joe Girardi trying to, save the energy for the game.
Today was an optional round of batting practice out on the field, and Mark Teixeira was taking batting practice out there.
Maybe because he didn't play yesterday.
Yeah. Whatever he did, it worked. Mark Teixeira in his 2 home runs tonight. The first one 413 feet. The second one 417. Going dead central here at Globe Life Park. Justin Wilson taking a little bit of time on the back of the mound, trying to regroup, behind in the count here, 3-1. Good fastball for strike 2. Activity in the Yankee bullpen. It looks like Dellin Betances starting to get his gun hot.
Now this has been the strength of the Yankee team all season long. You get to this point in the ball game when the Yankees have the lead. Wilson's done a good job. Betances has been outstanding. Made the All-Star team. And Andrew Miller been perfect in save situations.
Be a 3-2 to the number 9 hitter Robinson Chirinos. Wilson misses a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th. We're going to look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, which is brought to you by Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. Nathan Eovaldi, his 10 wins against 2 losses, 4.27. Carlos Rodon, 4-3, 4.09. Our coverage will begin at 7:30 p.m. on Yes. Back to the top of the lineup, Delino DeShields. He's got a couple of hits tonight. Wilson quickly ahead with a good fastball.
Headley up close on the grass, expecting a bunt from DeShields. I mean, you have to respect the fact that this guy can beat out bunt base hits. He's done it once tonight.
Squares around, bunts it, pops it foul. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. I would imagine Justin Wilson not the easiest guy to bunt against. That good hard fastball pitches up in the zone.
Yeah, Flash is right. When you get that high fastball, sometimes it's tough to get it down. And fortunately for DeShields, nobody was able to catch that popped up bunt. His dad was a good bunter. Dad was a left-handed hitter, though, so he had the extra step.
Wilson ahead in the count, 0-2. The fastball gets by Brian McCann. Robinson Chirinos now in scoring position, probably going to be scored a wild pitch.
We take a look. If it's in the dirt, yes, it is. Look like it skipped off home plate. That's going to be a wild pitch. Chirinos will move down to second.
From a catching standpoint, when you have a guy throwing 95 and he throws it down, that's all you can do if you're Brian McCann. You try to pick it. It's going to be scored a wild pitch.
The Yankees have had 49 wild pitches. When you have a staff that throws as hard as they do, that's putting a lot of pressure on the catchers to stop the errant pitches that are in the dirt.
See if DeShields can have a productive at bat and advance. Chirinos trying to go the other way and fouls it off.
If you're Wilson, you're trying to get the ball in on his hands so he can't hit it to the right side.
The 1-2 to Delino DeShields. Fastball just misses. There it is, Kenny trying to go inside.
Yep. Yep, it was a little in.
We'll see if DeShields can handle the bat. Fouls off a tough pitch. The 2-2. Good fastball right by DeShields and a big out for Justin Wilson. It looks like Joe Girardi's going to come out to the mound. Have a talk with Justin Wilson. He's going to make a pitching change. So leadoff walk, wild pitch, and a strikeout. We're going to the pen. Marakovitz on our post-game show. It's Joe Girardi going to the bullpen. Dylan Betances, his 48th appearance, 6-2, 1.35, and the 84 strikeouts. Betances worked Monday night, has had the last couple of nights off, trying to protect a one-run lead here in the bottom of the seventh.
Now, if the Yankees can win this game, that would mean they would win 7 straight series. They would take this one 3 out of 4. And they've had the best record in the major leagues this month.
Elvis Andrus having a good night, 2 for 3. Robinson Chirinos takes his lead off of second base. 6-5 lead for the Yankees. Tanz's first pitch breaking ball misses. Prince Fielder waiting on deck. Trying to size up Dellin Betances, get a feel for his delivery. Fastball up, hit hard, a base hit into left field. Brett Gardner, he has it. Tony Beasley's going to hold up Chirinos at third. A good piece of hitting by Andrus, getting on top and hammering it into left field.
That is Andrus' third hit of the night, and he's been swinging the bat pretty well of late for the Texas Rangers. And this is going to chase Chirinos to third base. Gardner circling. Tony Beasley, the third base coach, trying to size things up here. He knows that Gardner has a good arm, and he stops Chirinos at third base.
So first and third, one out. This is going to be a pretty good matchup right here. Prince Fielder against Dellin Betances. It's the first time that these two guys have hooked up as Brian McCann goes through some signs in front of home plate. Fielder having a good year, the batting average at .331. Yankees have held him in check tonight, 0 for 3, 3 fly balls. A 1-0 from Betances. Big swing and a miss by Fielder.
Take a look. There's the target. It's the slider. Actually broke in off the plate. A big swing and a miss.
There goes Andrus. Foul ball by Fielder. Dellin Betances not really paying too much attention.
Big man, takes a little while to unload at 6'8". So the Rangers trying to take advantage of that and had Andrus on the move. He had a great jump.
Andrus 10 stolen bases, has been thrown out 5 times. Betances ahead in the count, 1-2 to Prince Fielder. Andrus not running. Hard hit to Drew. It's going to go to second base. The high throw gets away. Chirinos scores. And Didi Gregorius is down. Mark Littlefield, Joe Girardi running out to check on the Yankee shortstop.
Well, Andrus slid in very hard, trying to break up the potential double play, which I didn't think was going to be in the offing anyway. Drew had to go too far for this. Here's the throw. It's high, and it kind of hangs Gregorius out to dry. And then Andrus comes in, slides into him, knocks him down. On this play, Fielder will get a fielder's choice and a run batted in as Gregorius is down and walking around. And the game is tied. So Gregorius is going to walk that off. And the Rangers are still in business here. They got runners at first and second and 1 out. And Drew checking on his double playmate behind second base.
Well, you're right, Kenny. I don't think they were going to turn the double play, but important out to get there at second base. Not able to do it. We're tied up now at 6 with dangerous Adrian Beltre to the plate. Beltre 0 for 2 with a walk. Andrus taking his lead off of second base. Dellin Betances better pay attention. He's running. The throw by McCann is low and picked by Headley. You kind of see that play coming.
Great stop by Headley at third, but Betances takes one look and then he's headed home. And that's all that Andrus needed. And here's the pick by Headley. This throw looked like it might be headed for left field. Good hands of a third baseman make the stop. Andrus is third now with a go-ahead run with one out. Stolen base, number 11 on the season. That was a big one. If he had looked again, he could have picked him off.
Rangers all set up here, first and third, one out. Chase Headley playing back. Gregorius and Drew double play depth. And Adrian Beltre ahead in the count, 2-0. Big swing and a miss.
Here's a look at the swing by Beltre, who's trying to unload. Yankee bullpen's busy again.
Nick Goody getting loose again in that bullpen for the Yankees. The 2-1 from Betances. Another big swing and a miss. 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, Betances knows what he has to do here.
What do? Do you elevate a fastball, try to get Beltre to swing out of the zone? You can bounce a breaking ball, trusting Brian McCann. Goes with the breaking ball, and a good play by Brian McCann, keeping that one in front.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Here's what Flash is talking about, trusting your catcher, and he comes up with it in the dirt. Wasn't close enough to the plate to get Beltre the offer.
It'll be a 3-2, a huge pitch in this ball game. Betances goes with the fastball, broken bat, soft line drive, easy play by Gregorius, and a big out by Dellin Betances.
Well, let's check out the pitch by pitch to Adrian Beltre. There goes Andrus. The pitch is high and inside. He's got a stolen base. Ball one. Slider misses. Ball two. Betances fights his way back. Couple of fastballs, he can't catch up with it. Slider in the dirt, count 3-2, and then he gets in on the hands into the soft looper, the short. Broken bat, splinters flying everywhere.
2 down will bring up Josh Hamilton. Josh, a 3-run home run in the first inning, has struck out and hit a ground ball. Texas Rangers 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. This is the first time Hamilton and Betances have hooked up. Joe Girardi telling Mark Teixeira to play behind Prince Fielder. Left-handed hitting Josh Hamilton at the plate.
Yeah, the important runner is the one at third. That's the lead run. You want to give Teixeira some more maneuverability over at first, not to be nailed to the bag.
Ooh, look at pitch, little check swing.
2-0. Figured Hamilton's geared up for the fastball. That was not it.
2-1. Fastball misses off the plate.
Andrus trying to maybe provoke a balk. Didn't work. With Headley way off the bag at third with a left-handed hitter up, Andrus get a huge lead over at third base.
Josh Hamilton in the driver's seat, 3-1. Big swing and a miss. Betances throws it right by him.
come back with it, or you go to the hook.
Well, you have options right here. Make sure you're on the same page with Brian McCann. See what they do. Go breaking ball. Josh Hamilton takes it. A good at bat by Hamilton. Bases loaded for the Texas Rangers, and it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. As Mitch Moreland comes out on deck. He's going to hit for Ryan Rua, and Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, going to go out to the mound. Go over a little scouting report. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
We are going to have a pinch runner at second base. That's Leonis Martin going in to run. He's running for fielder.
Mitch Moreland up in a big spot against Dellin Betances. We're all tied up at 6, 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Moreland has faced Betances once, is 0 for 1. He takes a breaking ball in the dirt. Good play by McCann.
Now Moreland this year as a pinch hitter been pretty successful. 5 at bats pinch hitting. He's got 4 hits. Driven in 3 runs. So he's been good off the bench for Jeff Bannister. .99.
Be a 1-1. Big swing and a miss by Moreland.
Well, that one came up.
Starting to heat up a little bit now. 99.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot. He's reaching back for a little extra. That one came up with a trail of smoke. Woo.
Be a 1-2 to Moreland. He goes off speed and he gets a huge strikeout by Dellin Betances against Mitch Moreland. Rangers threatened to have a big inning. Betances was able to pick up a big strikeout. But the Rangers do add 1, and we're all tied up at 6. inning. We'll look at the pitch by pitch. Breaking ball misses. Fastball right down Broadway. Fastball right by Moreland. Plenty of options. Goes with the breaking ball and a huge strikeout for Dellin Betances to end that 7th inning.
Time for our Nissan game summary. Brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Teixeira's had a couple of solo home runs tonight. McCann had a 2-run homer. 6-6 as we head to the 8th inning. Hamilton had a 3-run homer for the Texas Rangers. Chu with a solo and Rua with a solo home run. And that was an exciting inside the park home run. Carlos Beltran facing Sam Freeman. And the first pitch is in there for a call strike. Freeman comes out of the bullpen in relief of Cullen. Beltran tonight has walked and flied out twice. And he fouls one off, and the count moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Leonis Martin is in center field. That's Delino DeShields, who moves over from center to left. And Mitch Moreland stays in the game, and he's at first base. Ball's hit on the ground, and it's by Moreland and into right field for a base hit. Right now we're going back to our studios and Bob Lorenz. At 9-8 at one time. Thanks, Bob. I think Baltimore was down 9-2 in that game. So Beltran aboard, nobody out. With the potential go-ahead run. There's Sam Freeman. His 36th appearance of the year. 209 as Headley squares to bunt. On our Hyundai scoreboard, 6-6, top of the 8th inning.
Nice piece of hitting by Carlos Beltran, just slapping it the other way, just out of the reach of Moreland.
Headley takes high, no bunt there. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. I was looking at the stats, and Headley does not have the sacrifice bunt this year. He has produced 4 sacrifice flies. Off the corner, 2 balls and no strikes. Headley tonight drove in a run in the 1st inning, and then his next 2 at bats, he flied out to left field. Two and 1. Freeman tosses him a strike. Freeman, the former St. Louis Cardinal. Strike 2 call. Like some sort of off-speed pitch. Spoils it, fouls it back. Headley has now played in 20 games this month. He's had a hit in 18 of them. Having a good month of July. Along with several other members of the Yankees. Check on Beltran. Got back easily. Breaking ball hit on the ground to short. Could be 2. Andrus is going to take it himself. There's the force. The throw is high, but Moreland gets back down on the bag, and it's a double play. Headley hit it hard, but a tailor-made double play turned by the shortstop Elvis Andrus.
Yeah, Freeman makes a big pitch. Easy play for Andrus. A little high throw, but Moreland able to come down on the bag.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Moreland Got down quickly enough. Yep, my bad. Here's Gregorius, who is 1 for 3. Starts him with a curveball and it misses outside for a ball. This has been a back and forth affair tonight. Yankees scored 3 in the first. Rangers came right back. Rangers scored 1 in the second, take a 4-3 lead. Yankees scored 2 in the third to make it 5-4. The Rangers tied it up at 5 in the fourth. The Yankees made it 6-5 in the seventh. The Rangers tied it in the bottom half of the inning. That's where we stand. Breaking ball misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes on Didi Gregorius. .3-0 pitch way outside, goes all the way back to the screen, but Chirinos is going to recover. And a 2-out walk to Didi Gregorius. And it's going to give Stephen Drew a chance here. With 2 outs and a man on here in the 9th. Make it the 8th. Drew is grounded out 3 times. To short, to second, and to first with the pitcher covering. Outfielders are deep. They'll give up a single. They don't want anything going over their heads. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. The feeling here is if you're an outfielder, the ball goes over your head, it's going to go in the seats. And then it's not your fault. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Chirinos is going to go out and talk to Freeman. Could be as simple as saying pick up the glove. So Freeman walked Gregorius has fallen behind Drew. 2 balls and no strikes. Tanner Shepherds. He's up in the Rangers pen. Fouled back and out of play by Drew. 2-1. Drew's had a pretty good road trip. 6 for 19. And he fouls this one off. Level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now each night we've been here, crowds have been around 31,000. It looks about the same tonight. Freeman has fought back. They even accounted 2-2. Pitch a little blooper, and it's going to fall into center field for a base hit. Gregorius is going to stop at second. As Martin gets the ball back in quickly, and Martin's got a reputation of a strong arm. He leads the league in assists with 13. And we're going to see pitching coach Mike Maddox again.
I actually thought Didi had a chance to get into third base, but you're right. Martin throws too well in center field. As Drew has a good at bat, just battles a fastball in. You see Didi Gregorius, the play right in front of him, not really thinking about third base.
So now, first and second with 2 outs. And you're going to see a completely different outfield play. The outfield is going to move up some. Because now a base hit can score a run. Ellsbury had a triple leading off the ball game in the first inning. Eventually came around the score. It was his first triple of the year. But since then, he's grounded out 3 times. The Yankees a chance with a runner in scoring position here in the top half of the 8th inning. In a 6-6 ball game. Curveball hangs high and inside for ball 1.
So important from Gregorius to get a good secondary lead. DeShields is playing shallow. Martin throws the ball well in center field. Got to get a good jump.
Breaking ball looped into the seats and out of play. Decent speed at second in Gregorius. And Drew runs pretty well at first base, so the Yankees have good speed on the bases. Just a little bit high. 2-1. Yankees looking for some late inning magic here at Globe Life Park. Nothing doing at second base. A game that started in 100-degree temperatures get a little sweaty here late in the ball game. Outside, ball 3, 3-1. Brett Gardner is on deck. Jeff Bannister and his pitching coach Mike Maddox talking it over. We've got Shepherds all warmed up in the bullpen. You got to have the feeling if Ellsbury gets on, Freeman's going to face Gardner lefty on lefty. Ellsbury can pick and choose right here. 3 balls and a strike. Almost hit him. In fact, it did. And he's headed to first base. The bases are loaded for the Yankees. A single, a double play, followed by a walk, another single, and a hit by pitch. Jeff Bannister on the phone to the bullpen. Shepherds is throwing once again. He was all ready to go. Do they trust Freeman to get out of this jam? It's lefty on lefty. Gardner tonight drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Has since then struck out twice and flied out to left field. Gregorius at third. Drew at second. Ellsbury at first. The man at third is the one that really matters. That would be the go-ahead run. Career with the bases loaded. 348 and a couple of slams. There are some times where a single will do the job, and this is one of those times. The first pitch, and it hits the outside corner for a called strike.
Yeah, I think the question is, do you trust Freeman to throw the ball over the plate? Control has been an issue here in the 8th inning. Obviously, you like the left-on-left matchup. Bases loaded. You have to throw the ball over the plate.
Pitch number 25 for Freeman in this inning. He's been working. Strike 2 again. He dots the outside corner. Right now, Freeman in the driver's seat. No place to put Gardner. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He got him. Went with the high fastball and gets out of a bases loaded jam here in the top of the 8th inning. Gardner helped him out, chased a bad pitch.
Gardner. And it's only 3 pitches. They're all fastballs. Strike 1, strike 2, and then he elevates the 3rd one. Brett Gardner helps him out a little bit. Nice job by Freeman to work his way out of trouble.
Game remains tied at 6. The pinch hitter coming up. It should say on deck. It's Odor as Sin-Soo Choo is at the plate. He swings and misses from Dellin Betances. Ken Singleton, John Flaherty, Meredith Marakovitz here in Texas. We're tied at 6. Entertaining ball game if you're just joining us. Choo had a solo home run. Our Hyundai scoreboard tells the story. 6-6, bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees leaving the bases loaded in the top of the 8th. The Rangers left them loaded in the bottom of the 7th. Choo pops one foul. Can't get around on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2. Betances struck out Mitch Moreland, the pinch hitter, with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. And you just saw Sam Freeman strike out Brett Gardner with the bases loaded in the top of the 8th. The 0-2 pitch on the way, and it is called strike 3. Choo caught looking. Fans, stay tuned to Yes after final out for the WB Mason postgame and get analysis of the key moments from tonight's finale. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz has a clubhouse reaction, and hear Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's all coming up on the WB Mason Yankees postgame, only on Yes. So Choo is retired, and it brings up Rougned Odor. And he's had hitting for Adam Rosales. And he'll take a pitch a little bit upstairs for a ball. Odor came in red hot in this series. American League Player of the Week. The Yankees have cooled them off considerably. He's 0 for 13 in this series. There's a strike. While Rosales was in there, he had popped up and hit into 2 double plays. Nick Goody is up again in the bullpen. Ball is popped up behind home plate just in front of us, and it becomes a souvenir for a fan about 10 feet away from us. Meanwhile, the count is in Betances' favor. Ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He's got him 3 straight strikeouts now for Betances. So 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 8th, and we'll bring up Chirinos.
Good breaking ball. Odor just swings right over the top of it. You sit in that dugout all night long and you get a chance to pinch hit against Dellin Betances. It's usually not going to work out real well.
Joe Girardi doesn't want Betances to become overworked. That was his 29th pitch. Girardi's going to go to the bullpen, and Nick Goody going to make his major league debut. He's going to take the chance to face Robinson Chirinos with 2 outs and nobody on. AllStateGMC.com. By People's United Bank N.A., putting the power of know-how to work for you. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. So Nick Goody, young man from Orlando, Florida. He was born in Orlando, still lives there. Makes his major league debut with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 8th inning. And this is his season with Grant Wilkes-Barre, 5 games. 0-1. How about that? 11 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. Didn't walk a batter. We saw Caleb Cotham come up last night. He was very effective. He went back to AAA today. Goody is back. Robinson Chirinos takes the first pitch, and the first pitch thrown by Goody in the big leagues is a call strike.
Goody, good numbers in AA and AAA, 1.68 ERA. And when you ever hear somebody's from Louisiana State University, you usually feel pretty good about their game, one of the best college programs in the country.
Picked in the 6th round by the Yankees in the 2012 draft. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Take a look at his delivery. The fastball at about 93, 94.
Looks like he does a good job of hiding the ball.
Yeah.
He's well ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes on Robinson Chirinos.
You know the adrenaline's got to be pumping. First big league appearance in a tie ball game.
The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball fouled off. And I think he's in there because Joe Girardi didn't want Betances to throw many more pitches. He's thrown 29. So Goody gets a chance. Betances struck out the last 3 batters that he faced. Overpowering. Goody trying to pick up the final out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pitch to Chirinos. Breaking ball, hangs high, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
I mentioned that adrenaline pumping. Sometimes with a young pitcher, they try to do a little too much with 2 strikes. Trying to pick up that first strikeout. The last couple of breaking balls, not great. A little bit quick coming down the hill. Biggest hurdle to get over is you don't have to throw it any better than you did in the minor leagues. Trust that your stuff is good enough.
Fouled back by Chirinos. Now remains a ball and 2 strikes. Something he's been thinking about his whole professional career, probably going back to Little League. When you think about it, pitching at the major league level. From the 30+ thousand fans here at Globe Life Park. In a tight situation, 6-6. High for a ball, and it's 2-2. Top of the order, and Delino DeShields on deck. Two-two pitch on the way, and it's swung on and missed, strike 3. So Nick Goody strikes out the first man he faces in the big leagues against the Yankees out of the 8th inning. It's on to the 9th. He'll remember this for a very long time. Sean Tollison. He picked up his 18th save of the year last night in the Rangers' 5-2 win, and making his 44th appearance of the year. Only one blown save on the year, 18 out of 19, and 44 strikeouts in 43 and a third innings, just 8 walks. And he'll be facing 3, 4, and 5 for the Yankees here in the top of the ninth in a 6-6 ball game. Alex Rodriguez had a base hit back in the 5th inning that stretched a hitting streak to 6 straight games. And the first pitch is low and away for a ball. That is a little high and maybe a little inside. Did A-Rod swing? No, says first base umpire Jerry Mills, and the count moves to 2 balls and no strikes.
Be a pretty good pitch to hit right here. We'll see if Alex Rodriguez looks out over the plate. We mentioned the home run he hit earlier in the series the other way.
Not that far out over the plate. That's ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. .30 pitch, and it's way upstairs, and it's a leadoff walk. So Alex Rodriguez is aboard. And here comes Mark Teixeira. And Flash, let's look back.
Well, you go all the way back to the 1st inning, and he hammers one just to the left of center field. Got the Yankees going a little bit. And later on in the 7th, pretty much dead central, gave the Yankees a lead at that point. Mark Teixeira having a huge ball game.
He's also had a single and scored a run. He scored 3 and driven in a couple. So Alex Rodriguez at first, nobody out top of the 9th, and Teixeira is at the plate. He's also walked at first pitch, misses inside for a ball. Well, we saw Alex Rodriguez hit 3 home runs in Minnesota. The 6th time he's done that in his career. Mark Teixeira's last 3 home run game was May 8th, 2010. And he's hit 3 homers in a game 3 times.
So Joe Girardi might want to send a pinch runner out there. It's going to be Chris Young's going to take over for Alex Rodriguez.
You know, at first I thought Joe was going to wait until Alex got in the scoring position. But he's going to go with Chris Young right now. So Young effectively takes over the DH role as well as pinch running for Alex Rodriguez. That's in the dirt. Good stop by Chirinos. He's been very effective defensively for the Rangers in this series. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Now the 2 pitches that Teixeira's hit tonight, both were out over the plate and straightaway center field. Tollison has yet to throw a strike.
Yeah, if you're Mark Teixeira, you can really lock in right here. Do you look for a ball in? Do you look out over where they've been pitching you all night?
Now look out at center field. If Leonis Martin were any deeper, he would need a ticket. He's about 3 steps in front of the warning track. There is a call strike. 2-1. You know, you got to figure with their outfielders playing so deep, any base hit should chase Chris Young to third base. That one hits the outside corner. Tollison fights back. The level of count at 2-2. Yankees trying to make it 3 out of 4 in the win column in this series. The Rangers just trying to even it up at 2 apiece after dropping the first 2 to the Yankees. Another throw to first, this time back standing up. Two balls, 2 strikes on Teixeira, who's hit 2 homers tonight. Swings and misses, strike 3. Pitch was up and in, and he got him. So 1 out now.
We take a look at the pitch by pitch, and you give him credit. He falls behind in the count. Breaking ball 2-0. Fastball for a strike. Best pitch of the at bat right there, dotted on the outside corner, and then elevates up and in with another fastball, and you get a great look from the side, out of the strike zone, and right by Mark Teixeira.
So that'll bring up Brian McCann, who's had a good night. 2 for 4 with a single and a home run. He's scored twice and driven in a couple. Chris Young does have 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts. The Yankee bullpen is getting busy, and I see the tall left-hander warming up. Off-speed pitch drops in there for a strike. Andrew Miller, the Yankee closer. Another strike, another breaking ball, 0-2. After the 6 pitches out of the strike zone, 5 consecutive strikes thrown by Tollison. Another check on Chris Young. McCann lifts a high fly ball to right field. Going back is Chu near the wall and makes the catch for the out. That goes in the category of just missed.
Yeah, you could tell this was not Brian McCann's A swing. But you always wonder when you come to Arlington, you get one up in the air to right field, especially will it carry out? It did not. Take another look out on his front foot, and he reaches maybe off the end of the bat a little bit. You're just hoping for some backspin. You're hoping for a little breeze that helps it.
So 2 outs now, and Chris Young still at first, and it brings up Carlos Beltran. Beltran has walked and singled in 4 trips. Another throw to first. Check on Chris Young. Low and out of the zone. It was in the dirt, and it's ball 1. That will break the string at 6 consecutive strikes. There's another one out of the zone. 2-0. Beltran has already homered in this series. That was in last night's game. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. A fourth one out of the strike zone would push Chris Young into scoring position with Headley on deck. There's a strike, 3-1. Ball is popped up behind second base. Andrus, the shortstop, is there. He's got it. And it's on to the bottom of the ninth. Still tied at 6. Yankees trying to hold on. By 2 games over the Angels. Nick Goody remains in the game. He struck out the first batter he faced in the big leagues last inning. That was Robinson Chirinos. That was the 3rd out. And now he gets the top half of the order. The Shields, Andrus, and Martin. Here in the bottom of the ninth. He's trying to hold the Rangers at bay here in a tie game. First pitch is popped up and out of play. Strike 1 to the Shields. The Shields had a pretty good night. He's had a couple of hits, scored a run, but he has also struck out twice. So he's 2 for 4. Bottom of the ninth in a hard-fought ball game. Yankees 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Rangers 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And that is outside, and it's a ball and a strike on the Shields.
Obviously, DeShields and his running game, 16 stolen bases. Want to keep him off the bases, especially with a young pitcher out there making his major league debut.
Yankees guarding against the bunt on the corners. Headley in tied at 3rd, same for Teixeira at 1st. The Shields with a world of speed. Just missed the corner. There's a call strike, 2-2. Well, the Yankees beat the Rangers 21-5 on Tuesday. That game was 3 hours and 35 minutes. We are 3:19 right now. Of course, the Yankees scored 11 of those runs in 1 inning. And that was 32 minutes right there.
Well, after that first inning, the Rangers didn't do anything, so that game could have been a lot longer than you probably thought it was going to be. 21-5.
Full count. Did he go? No, says Jerry Mills, and the count is full. 3-2.
We'll take another look. Jerry Mills only got one look at it. He didn't go. Big pitch for Nick Goody here. 3-2 to leadoff hitter in the inning with plenty of speed.
And also have a hitter up there next, and Andrews, who can handle the bat. Good bunter. Here's your 3-2 pitch, and he checks his swing, and it's ball 4. So the Speedy DeShields is on base for the 3rd time tonight. And here comes Joe Girardi. So Goody has faced 2 batters in the big leagues. He struck out 1 and walked the other, and now he's going to give way to Andrew Miller. So the big left-hander's coming on, but a man on and nobody out. Mario in Minnesota when we were there. Good looking rookie outfielder for the Twins. There's Nick Goody. He's walked the leadoff man. Now Joe Girardi has gone to his closer, Andrew Miller. And very good numbers to say the least. 54 punch outs in 34 1/3 innings. And this will be his 35th appearance of the year. He gets Elvis Andrus. Let's see how the Rangers are going to play this year. They got speed on it first. They got a good bunter at the plate. Andrus, 7 sacrifice bunts this year. He's among the league leaders. There's a toss over to first. Andrus did not give it away. But I kind of expect Flash. He's going to be trying to lay it down.
Yeah, I think the same thing. And Joe Girardi going to his closer in a non-save situation. Miller has not pitched in this series at all, so he's well rested.
And it's a high fly ball to center field and deep. Going back is Ellsbury. Still going back. And he makes the catch up against the wall. Gets the ball back in. He was playing fairly shallow for Andrus, and he put a charge in it. But Ellsbury ran it down. We'll see if he's okay. as he crashed into the wall in center field. Second time on this road trip he's crashed into a wall.
Well, we were expecting bunt. Andrew Miller came right at him. The big leg kick, no bunt, and a good swing of the bat. Ellsbury goes a long way and makes a great play crashing off the wall. DeShields does not tag up and get into scoring position. We'll watch the drive. You see DeShields trying to figure out if Ellsbury's going to be able to make the play, and he does.
Oof. It looked like Ellsbury crashed his lower leg. Now just underneath the padding there's concrete there. You can see Andrus feelings hurt quite a bit. Leonis Martin squares the bunt, takes a pitch outside for a ball. Martin came in the ball game for defensive purposes. Rangers pen is heating up again. Martin has 6 bunt hits this year. And he'll take a pitch, and that misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Between DeShields, Andrus, and Martin, you have some accomplished bunters on this Rangers team. They can play some small ball in a home run hitting type ballpark.
Yeah, see if they try to get something going here. DeShields and his speed. Martin ahead in the count 2-0.
There's a toss over to first. We told you DeShields with 16 stolen bases. He's only been caught 3 times. There's another look at the catch by Ellsbury, and I believe might have hit his foot on the wall. That pitch is popped foul and out of play by Martin. 2-1. Yankees trying to send this one into extra innings. Pitch is lined and it hits the runner. So Martin will be credited with a base hit and DeShields is out. The put out will go to Mark Teixeira. He was the closest fielder. So now there's 2 down. And well, that hurt a bit too. A hot smash off the bat of Leonis Martin catches the Lionel DeShields.
You see he's going back to first base. He thought Miller was going to throw over. What a break for the New York Yankees. And that's at least first and second, maybe first and third. DeShields, because he was fooled thinking that Miller was going back to first.
That was a rocket. So 2 down. Martin at first. He gets credited with a base hit. As Adrian Beltre would come to the plate. Beltre is 0 for 3 with a walk.
Used to seeing Andrew Miller give up hot shots like that. Andrus going deep to center field, a rocket by Martin.
Especially, I was thinking left-handed hitter hitting the ball that hard. A little more danger here with Beltre. Pitches inside for ball 1. Slider downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Andrew's talking about that long fly ball that was run down by Ellsbury in center field. Too much hang time. Another slider. That one misses. 3 balls and no strikes. The left-handed hitting. Josh Hamilton on deck. There's a strike. 3-1. And he misses. It's a ball. And Martin will move down to second as Beltre will take over at first. And with 2 outs, Hamilton will get a chance.
You get a look at the pitch again. In off the plate just a little bit. Ryan McCann will show you what he thinks, trying to bring it back. Tough pitch.
So Hamilton had a big 3-run home run in the first inning off CC Sabathia. Since then, he has struck out, grounded out, and drawn a base on balls. Even with Hamilton's power, the outfield comes in. They don't want a single to beat them. First pitch, and it's inside, ball 1 from Miller.
Hamilton has faced Miller 6 times. He's 1 for 6.
Two balls and no strikes. Miller has not been as sharp as we've seen him in the past. All the runs, most of them at least, produced by the home run. Both teams a little shallow with runners in scoring position. Ball is hit hard. It's a base hit to right field. Beltran comes over to cut it off, but Martin's going to score, and the Rangers are going to come away with a win. 7-6 as they score in the bottom of the 9th inning. Josh Hamilton comes through with a game-winning hit, and the Rangers break even in this series 2 apiece. The Yankees took the first 2. The Rangers stormed back, winning the next 2 ball games. Hamilton with a big night, 4 runs batted in, and he's the hitting hero for the Texas Rangers tonight. There's your final score, 7-6. The Texas Rangers win this ball game, and the Yankees are headed to Chicago with a split.
Well, Kenny, you're right. Miller not sharp tonight, got behind in the count, had to come in there to Hamilton. I guess he didn't have to come in there, but he chose to and challenged him. A big walk-off hit for Josh Hamilton. Another look at the location, middle in, right by Mark Teixeira. Once it gets by him, this game is over.
Celebration is on for the Texas Rangers following the swing of the bat by Josh Hamilton. Check out the fans. They're going to react in just a second here as the ball heads into right field. So that's it. Rangers win at 7-6. Let's go to Bob Lorenz now in our Yes Network studios.